Hello everyone, Namaste. So happy that I am able to do this ritual yet another time with all of you here. It's that time of the year where we collect life lessons and look back one last time to collect those precious little gems and treasure them, probably for a lifetime. I hope to carry for sure most of this throughout my life, and I'm happy to share these life lessons with all of you. I really also hope that you too will take a few minutes after watching this video and note down your learnings from 2021 and see what's worth treasuring. Do share it with me here in the comment section, and I will love to learn from your experiences too. For those of you who are new here, this is Project Nyan, where I collect and share life lessons from people of different walks of life. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you believe in learning from collective human wisdom. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Since this is a slightly pretty long video, I'll break it up into 2 bits and share the first 5 life lessons here, and the rest I'll upload it as part 2. So here goes my top 10 life lessons from 2021. Lesson number 1. What you fear the most is making you stronger. I remember last year this time, I was soaked in fear of COVID-19 and we all didn't know when would it all end. But like they say, when we see something that we dread the most in close quarters and for longer durations of time, we kind of learn to accept its presence and start seeing it for what it is, and not through the magnifying lens of anxiety. I don't panic anymore, but I'm aware of my actions and protocols. The fear-induced anxiousness has disappeared, and the entire experience has helped me look at fears differently. Lesson 2. It's okay to let go when it's time to let go. I'm someone who always found it difficult to let go of anything without thinking if it was serving me well or not. I kind of used to hang on to things with a lot of emotional investment in it. Be it small little wrapper covers to jobs to relationships, you name it. I cling it close to my heart even if it wasn't serving me well, and my God, this year life taught me it's okay to let go. I was holding on to a certain part of my life closely and doing my best to handle all the drama and nonsense that came with it, thinking it'll get better and it's my responsibility to make the place a better place. But this year, it was such a good rejuvenation that I learned and I realized that it's okay to not have things in our way. And I realized that not getting what we want can also be a blessing in disguise and can be a move that the universe chose for us to put us on a different path, because it forced me to reevaluate things and opened up doors of opportunities that I would have never considered. The end was a new beginning for me in many ways this year. For those of you who are empaths and you know what I'm talking about, we find it extremely difficult to say no and to let go of things easily, even if they consume us like termites inside out. If you're one like me, then here is a fellow empath who's chosen to let go, and guess what? It's perfectly okay. I needed to experience this also to unclog what I didn't need in my life. Lesson 3. What causes me anger is an outcome of my fears and me not being able to control the results. When things didn't go my way, or when someone said something that I didn't like, or when I generally was getting angry, I used to always think it had to do a lot with external circumstances. The people who irritated me, the situations and the experiences which caused me to react out of anger and outburst. It's only this year that I realized, after a lot of contemplation, that all this has very little to do with others and a lot to do with my own thoughts and my expectations. I now know literally that what causes me anger the most is the one that I cannot control and I do not know how to solve, or the ones that I have an expectation to be of a certain kind. Funny but true. It's this realization which has helped me heal relationships with others and with myself in leaps and bounds. I realized I'm in control of only one person, and that is myself. Lesson 4. The concept of web of interdependence became my mantra for every day. I'm now able to practice gratitude and stay content during the times I feel blessed. I also take responsibility actively when I see something going wrong, because everything that is happening in the world is a contribution of all of us. Be it the good, like how we have managed to handle the issue of ozone layer depletion, or the bad of how we have silently watched and felt handicapped when women of a certain country were stripped of their rights and identity. We all are capable of adding good or bad into the world in our own little ways. If you're still not sure of what I'm talking about, then here is the video I made related to this topic. I'll leave it in the eye for you and in the description box below. You can have a look at it whenever that you feel comfortable. So every time I see success, happiness or joy, I know it's because of the entire world that came together to give me that happiness, and I rejoice humbly. And every time I see pain and suffering, I know that I have to act with discernment and with mindfulness the next time. Lesson number 5. It's okay to take a break from anything in life and stay guilt-free. For those of you who are veterans of Project Nyan family, you know that I've always been super consistent in putting out videos and used to do it religiously. However, this year there was a time that I wanted to stop everything. If you go back and look at the order of uploading of my videos, you will know that I paused for more than 6 months maybe. I didn't feel like doing it. I wanted to take a break and I wanted to just be. Then I wanted to invest my time and energy on a different project. I could find my calling elsewhere. And guess what I did? I reopened and worked on a dream project that I'd shelved and brought that to life. And that is The Tall Elephant, where we launched our first ever planner cum journal. I obviously didn't lose out on the rat race, and the YouTube algorithms didn't like me for this. But guess what? Now that I'm back here, I feel my soul is flourishing and happy, because Project Nyan is a holy space for me. It's my opening to the universe, and I will share only when I'm 100% ready and can be mindfully present. During the break, however, I enjoyed the time being a couch potato, binge watching a lot of series, and I was soulfully also investing in creating The Tall Elephant, and I'm okay with all of it. I've been working on The Tall Elephant in the back burner for more than 4 years, and during this time I shifted energies. So here is my takeaway. Choose what your soul wants you to do. You don't have to be a part of any rat race. Anything that you do it with all your heart and soul. So these were my top 5 learnings from 2021, and the part 2 of this, which is very, very interesting, will be uploaded very soon. Till then, stay tight, pick up a book or your journal with a cup of hot chocolate maybe, and reflect about 2021's journey. Do share your insights with me, and I would love to learn from you as well. Also, do feel free to send me a DM on Instagram or here and tell me what topics do you want me to cover on my channel. Do consider to like, share and subscribe to the channel to show your love and to stay connected. We'll see you on soon on part 2 of this video. Ciao, sending you the tightest of hugs and love your way. Kripalini.